When the night falls. It's the Grotty Orloff Show. So, anyway, August 17th. I have no idea what day it is. Does that even matter anymore? Okay, so years ago there was a show on HBO called Deadwood. Looked like it would be great. Great actors in that. Looked very authentic. But when I tuned it in, I couldn't stand the show. The showrunners decided they would use the F word constantly in the show to a ridiculous degree. I read online that they used the word 2,970 times during the series, and on average 1.5 times per minute. But I think it was more than that because it seemed like they used that word about 5 or 6 times in every sentence to the point where it became ridiculous, and that's all you could notice, and it took you out of the show. It took away its authenticity. It no longer felt like you were really there in the Old West. It just seemed phony and false. They used that word did exist in the 1870s, but they used more uh, religious, religion-based profanity. Like taking the Lord's name in vain at that time. The F word used as an adjective, ing at the end, was not really even used until World War One, from what I've researched. But it just seemed really phony, and it took you out of the show, and then you were no longer able to enjoy it. So there's some new Lord of the Rings show. All they've changed all of this stuff because they want to make it more modern, and they don't. J.R.R. Tolkien's vision is destroyed because they want to make it woke and make sure that it's representative and which doesn't even make sense in that universe. But I haven't seen that yet. I've just heard it's shitty. I don't even know if it's on the air yet. I think it is, but all the Tolkien fans hate it, and they've done this shit with everything that we love. They fuck up everything we love. Now, Sandman is not something I love because I never really read it. To be honest with you, I've always been told, "Hey, it's great. You got to read it." I remember seeing the covers on the newsstand in the comic stores, and the covers were these weird collages. It didn't look like a comic book. It didn't. I'd flipped through it, and it just didn't look like my cup of tea. Because I'd turned to a page with some nudity and some mangled, mutated baby, and I'm thinking, I don't know if this is something I really am thrilled about reading. Although there was a mini series that came out of Sandman called Death, The High Cost of Living, and I bought that because I saw a poster in the comic store, and I thought this character looks really cute. I'd like to read this comic. And it was good, so I know that the source material is probably good. I mean, Neil Gaiman's a great writer and everything, so I was always intending to read it. But anyway, this series comes on Netflix, so I watch it with my wife. I get up through episode 5, and like with Deadwood, I'm completely taken out of the series because they went way too far with because even if you haven't read the book, you realize things have been changed. It's like, because it just doesn't seem right. Because, okay, so Lucifer is an old woman, and all you got to do is get on. Okay, I don't know. I think Lucifer was a guy in the DC comic because didn't they even make a TV show based on that comic where he's a guy, and does that even make any sense? So you just get on the computer and you say, oh yeah, it was, that is not the way it was depicted. And I kind of stopped being interested in comics about the time that really a little bit before Sandman started in the comics in '89. I started getting disenchanted with comics around that time, and all these British writers came over, Alan Moore and Neil Gaiman, that and I loved Watchmen at the time, but it's all these Warlock OTO kind of people. That's just not my. It's not my thing. And so I know that Death. You can tell that every single character, with the exception of the main character, has been either gender swapped. If it was a guy in the comic, it's now a woman. If it's a woman, it's now a guy. If they the races are swapped, the genders are swapped, and the sexuality is swapped in almost every character. And you think, well, Neil Gaiman approved of it. He said, well, if I had written this comic today, I would have made Death that way. I would have made Lucifer that way. But he couldn't make Cain and Abel Middle Eastern because he didn't create those characters. Those were and apparently in Swamp Thing and in his comic, Cain is always killing Abel, and he comes back and like, what is that shit? I read House of Mystery and House of Secrets, the horror comics in the '70s, and whatever. And the point is, apparently there were gay characters in the original comic book, and that's not a problem. Because to create, if you want to have a fantasy world, you have to have it based in reality to have people accept it. So you want to make a movie or a TV series, Deadwood, make it seem real. Yes, those guys cursed, of course they did, but have them curse in an authentic way, not try to make it sound like today. And if you've got Lord of the Rings, which is based on British and Norse mythology, the characters, just because it's an English thing, are primarily going to be Anglo. So you race swap a bunch of them, it's just going to be very obvious, and then it's going to take you out of the fantasy of the show, because you're going to be realizing, oh, this is a Hollywood thing, they've made these decisions to, and the way that, if watching Sandman, every character in the series, every character, possibly the exception of one or two, they're all gay. And I don't think it was that way in the comic. I think there was some representation, but when you see that, it takes you out, because you realize, okay, I know this is fantasy, but when they show the real world being messed with by these forces, everybody is not. In fact, it's a minority. So they just, it's twisted and fucked up, and it's just not my. You realize what is going on with our culture? Everything's fucked. I just like the old comics. I'm sick of this. I really was disgusting. Episode 5, which is apparently based on issue 16, something about a diner. Whatever. we were looking at comics last time. I'm just getting disgusted with the world. I was showing you Amazing Spider-Man. Here's Amazing Spider-Man number 22. You know, these comics always deliver and always stay the same. Here's 32. I was showing these last time. I don't know at what point I was cut off. But anyway, yeah. That's one of the things I hate. So, yeah. Having said that, it's like it's constant. Hollywood is just a constant assault on us. That's issue 54, 55, and here's 57. Here's 58. How about that? But yeah, you've got to have some respect for the source material when you're adapting things. 62, and it's like everything's being altered. It's complete, and you realize that this is all a Marxist style takeover of the country. 66. 68. 82. 86. Ooh, this one's a little dirty. 87. Some stains. Not put there by me. 88. I wish I had more Silver Age Amazing Spider-Man. I just couldn't afford them back in the 70s. So the comics I would buy, that's 94, would be, I would buy the Fantastic Four comics. I would buy Doom Patrol, the real Doom Patrol, not the art school Doom Patrol. I would buy, what else would I get? I'd buy X-Men when I could, because the old X-Men weren't that expensive. This is the issue without the comics code symbol, because they have a drug overdose, and the comics code wouldn't allow that. Here's Amazing Spider-Man Annual or Special 3. Here's 6. Here's number 8. I've got a few Spanish language Spider-Man comics from Mexico. When did these actually come out? This is reprinting 60s stuff, but I'm thinking it's really from the 80s. I have my, yeah, I do too. These stupid reading glasses. Yeah, you can see at the bottom it says 1982. So I probably should even have this in the Silver Age boxes. Anyway, that's El Asombroso Hombre Araña from Mexico, number 94. And here's 81. Here's Angel and the Ape, number 2. I mean, we were kind of enjoying Sandman, but it just beats you over the head with it. It won't stop. Every character. You watch it and see if I'm not wrong. So they want people to go on and complain about it. And it's like, I understand if there's some LGBT characters in the show, but if every character is that way, I know that there's not that many in the world. And I've seen people online that are gay complaining about it. It's just like, what's going on? Why is everybody? I mean, if you don't have any respect for the source material, it's like, why not get actors that look like the characters in the comic? And if you like the comic so much that you're adapting it, we're doomed. Aquaman is not only in love with that space siren, he'll let her change him into an alien like herself. I know you probably think it's blasphemous that I never read the Sandman comic. But, in the mid-'80s, I kind of got distracted. I was in college. I was distracted by friends, by going out, record collecting movie posters. And then when comics started to be less interesting to me, the comics were still interesting to me, but I didn't outgrow the comics. The comics started to change. And they started to be... here's 26. Alan Moore is like a warlock, type guy. Neil Gaiman, he's, I think he's not. I looked him up. He's got his own philosophy of things. This is number, whatever the fuck. 33. It's hard to see the red letters against the black background. Here's 46. See, he looks just like Jason Momoa. Why does Aquaman look like Jason Momoa? Why does Aquaman not look like that? I mean, there's not an actor in Hollywood that has blonde hair or could have their hair dyed blonde. Why does Aquaman have to be Samoan? I mean, Jason Momoa is a perfectly charismatic actor, I guess. Does fine playing that role, but it doesn't look like Aquaman. So I don't care if he puts on an outfit that has a little orange and green. The character of Mera, Amber Heard, looks like Mera from the comic. Well, why doesn't he look like the comic? Why can't we get an accurate representation of what the comics show? Why is that so hard? And it becomes more and more of an issue with every passing day. And it's amazing that Mera was allowed to be a redhead, because every red-haired character is always changed now. And I'm not the only one that's noticed that. It's like if you're a red-haired character in comic books. If you're going to be changed into a movie or a TV show, they're going to make sure you're not red-haired, because it's like there's a problem with red-haired people in Hollywood. They apparently are not approved of. So Lana Lang, Jimmy Olsen, whoever has red hair, they're not going to have it anymore. And I always liked red hair. I always thought it was attractive, but yeah. Oh, yeah. Here they want us to eat bugs. Have you heard about that? That's the new thing. If you see any food that says sustainable, don't buy it, because that means they put bugs in it. That's the new thing. They want us to eat bugs and whatever the fuck. Here's Aquaman 13 without a cover. Drew is upset because of some little children outside. Aquaman 20. Damn it. The black ink on purple again. I love the purple covers, but it's so... Okay, it says 31. Ogre strikes again. Aquaman 42. Yeah, they're embarrassed about Aquaman because he was made a butt of jokes by that perverted Seth MacFarlane, is that his name, on that stupid show. Yeah, he's apparently a real winner. They make fun of Aquaman. 46. Here's 53. Is California sinking? There's a lot of people out walking. I don't think school starts until Tuesday of next week, so people out walking, and Drew does not approve of that. We're just going through Silver Age books. Here's Astonishing Tales 2. By doing this, I get to enjoy looking at them, and it helps me remember what I have so I don't buy it again. Not that there's that much danger of that, because there's no comic stores here locally. I need to find something to show on Graphic Man's show tonight. Last 2 Wednesdays I've been kind of not feeling well, so I bowed out. But I don't want to do that 3 weeks in a row. That's 6. These used to be very cheap. I doubt they are anymore, since they've got I don't know. Maybe they still are. That's so wonderful. You can tell that's Marie Severin's art. I've always loved her art. Astonishing Tales number 8. There's number 8. Another copy. Here's the Atom, number 16. don't have many copies of the Atom. It's not that I don't like the Atom. I just I have copies of what falls in my lap because and I never saw this much in the comic shops. I'm always looking for Silver Age comics, and they just don't seem to, they never seem to turn up much where I was living. But yeah, that fucking episode 5 of The Sandman kind of fucked me up. I thought, why am I watching this shit? And, yeah, 39. Watch episode 5, see what I'm talking about. There's the Land of the Giants model kit with the snake. I guess Adam wasn't selling well enough, so they gave him a co-billing with Hawkman. There's a wonderful ad. You know, I just found a little miniature Western for it that I think came from one of those, possibly one of these ads in the comics. Either that or it was bought. I know we got it when I was living in Germany, and maybe we bought it in a store, but I know it was something. I'll show it to you. This is something, I know I had a Zeroid, maybe 2 Zeroids, and when I was a little kid, they stopped working. I'm just trying to remember which. It was probably that Zeroid there. I don't know what happened to it. Why was it thrown away? What happened to it? That's something I'd like to replace. I'm sure they're super pricey, the old Zeroids. Missile firing tank. Yeah, these covers are great. Look at this, number 44. Damn, that's great. Okay. Now, this is, notice there's no price on it. This came from the Golden Records book. There's a set of Golden Records put out a record album where this comic was included with it, and they act out the comic very badly. It's worse. Trust me, Power Records in the 70s were so much better. The voices were awful. It was bad. But this comic has some value, not like a real one, but it is a comic from the 60s. It's just a reprint. And I've actually got 2 of those. Yeah, this one's not in as good a shape. But how about that? How about that? So the reprint's got some value. Here's from 1966. Here's Avengers 13. I know it's from 1966 because it's written right there. This was a gift along with my good friend of mine gave me his whole Avengers collection, which started with this issue and went up through the mid-1970s. He just said, here, gave me a long box of Avengers comics. So when there's a set of doubles, that means that I we just said here they're not in very good shape, but some of them are, some of them aren't. A lot of them were in the original Robert Bell bags, which I saved some of those bags. Um, he had mail ordered a lot of them when he was a kid. He said when the moon landing happened, um, he didn't even care. He was too interested opening his latest package from Robert Bell and reading the old stuff. So this is amazing stuff. I always love this ad where you can grow these monsters in your own room. Mary Marble Marching Society. Shit. I have to scoot up. But anyway, I didn't get much sleep last night. Hardly any. I don't even know if I got 2 hours sleep last night. We were watching that fucking Sandman show real late at night. It was after midnight. And then it just leaves you feeling like you need to take a shower. To me, that's not entertainment, to feel like I need to fucking take a shower when it's over. I'm sick of Hollywood. I'm sick of the music industry. I'm sick of everything. I like these old comics. I sure hate the new ones. Today is Wednesday. I guess it's the big new comic day. I'm sure there's an issue of the Avengers coming out today, but it sure is not going to be as cool as this. Number 15. Now, this is one I bought years ago, number 16. It's got a subscription crease. They used to, if you subscribe to a comic, they would fold it and mail it to you in an envelope. And this is the one that came with my friend's collection. He had a set of X-Men 1 up through the when the new X-Men started, and he sold that through Heritage auctions and didn't like the result. So as far as the Avengers went, he said, I'd just rather it go to someone that I know will treasure them, and I don't want to deal with that stuff anymore. He kept this Spiderman collection, which I think starts in the single digits, but goes through the 70s. And he kept his New Gods and his set of Warlock, I believe. This is the Warlock or Captain Marvel that he kept. Yeah, see, with issue 19, they start to try to cash in on the pop art craze, and they switch it to Marvel Pop Art Productions. Here's number 20. Well, I see Liz Cheney lost. What a surprise. This raid on Mar-a-Lago has galvanized support for Trump, and now he's more popular than ever. They can't win. It's just like a Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner cartoon. Um, Here is issue 22. It has a stamp on there from a used bookstore. Ruth's Bookstore and Magazine Exchange. 3527 Memorial Drive Plaza. But where in the country that is, I don't know. So that's 22. Here's 23. 24. 25. 26. Yeah, when I watch something for entertainment, I shouldn't feel like I've been assaulted. Like, just. And I'm just more and more aware of what they're trying to do to us, and what's propaganda, and we're just being flooded with shit trying to poison us. See, the thing is, it's 28. My wife is calling. I better go see how she's doing. Here's 29. Here's 30. Floating heads. See, the communists are trying to take over, and they've been trying to take over for years, and it never worked because they can't. Did I show you 21? I don't remember. The thing about it is they can't get the poor to go against the rich, in this country, because people consider themselves in the United States to be temporarily poor. No one. 14. Yeah, they don't. So what they're trying to do is divide us by race. Is what they're trying to do, and so therefore. Books back and that's why they're doing all this race swapping and TV shows and trying to get people to, in the rioting, it's all part of their plan. Okay, so the next one we got to look at is issue 33. Get this phone off of the damn. There we go. Sometimes when I try to take it out of the tripod, it stops the recording. All right. Drew, what are you doing? Having fun?
That's telling you what to say and putting you in places.
Oh, sorry, Drew.
Really, and because I've seen it behind the scenes.
Oh, this is what I was talking about. See this little fort, Fort Cheyenne? This is the size. This is what you would get. The size of the stuff you would get from those ads in the comics. Well, I've been working hard trying to build back better here, and Mount Gratu. See, Drew wants to go upstairs. Where's the... Oh, I need to... If I open the door, Drew will run in to the master bedroom. And if she has an accident in there, then that'll be a big problem. So let me get on the elevator and go up there. I got it filled with stuff, man. Oh, crap. Okay. Okay, hold on one second. I'll be back. Hey, I was filming a show. I kept trying to start it, and then I get calls from the school. And I still I may need to get the text of teachers that didn't feel considered, but the lady from the high school said that she was Well, I'm going to come back through this way instead of taking the elevator. Or I won't point it at you. left the elevator up there. I tricked Drew. Sorry, Drew. So we were looking at Avengers 33, I believe. I think Drew is hungry.
Government institutions talking about a post-human world and the end of the family and corporate enforced communism. I knew that
All right.
that's what we've done here in the last 28 years. And thanks to your support, thanks to your
It's about 15 minutes till 11.
humanity
And,
has a fighting chance against the globalists. So as we enter these critical midterms in 2022, it is more important than ever to realize that we really are the resistance. InfoWars and our supporters and viewers are the enemy of the rebels. They hate our guts. They hate your guts. We really are the rebel leaders. We really are the resistance.
I'm really starting to run out of things to show
We really are the hope.
on this program. So I'm starting to show the same things over and over again. It's like
Sink in.
eternal reruns.
Right now.
I don't have much new influx into the collection at all.
InfoWars is
So
It is the 1776 Americana resisting the Great Recession.
all right.
Capitalism and justice of freedom. We represent you. We think like you do. We come from
Hold on a second. We'll get back to comics in a moment.
same ideals you believe in, no matter what color you are, of justice and family and God and free market. Whether you're in Brazil, or whether you're
Hold on.
whether you're in Europe or Japan, it doesn't matter. You love justice, you love freedom, you love common sense, you love longevity, brothers and sisters. So now, come to you from the embattled rebel base in Austin, Texas. In direct conflict with New World Order. I'm asking every viewer and listener now to realize
Okay.
what we've done in 28 years is now in hand. Now, we try to make it easy to support InfoWars with great books, great films, water filtration, air filtration, and high-quality supplements. So that you get products,
All right. Well,
you can fund our operation and get a product that makes your life better. We want you to come back to work.
let me set this down for a moment.
So now, your investment in InfoWars has been amazing. Your time, your energy, your money. I thank you for that. But I'm asking you now more than ever, keep this operation on the air at this critical time. Now it's been sold out for more than 9 months. You wouldn't have to call other products to find them back in stock. We want you to get back to your immune system. This is the Rolls Royce. This is the Ferrari of supplements. DNA Force Plus is now finally back in stock. And despite the fact this was sold out for close to a year, we are still going to offer it out the gate for 50% off for a limited time at InfoWarsStore.com. So DNA Force is now back in stock. InfoWarsStore.com will empower your life, will make you so much more healthy, and it'll keep us on the air a 360 way.
Anyway, fantastic.
Final segment of American Journal. Savannah Hernandez will be on with Alex Jones in the second hour of the Alex Jones Show around 12
All right. So Alex Jones is about to start here in a few minutes. I'm sure you don't approve of that. Okay. All right. Fantastic. Amazing. Avengers 33, huh? Is that what you want to see? To Smash a Serpent. The coloring on these covers was done by Marie Severin. So the colors are darker than what you would normally see on a comic book. It's something she liked to do, and Stan Lee hated it. And when new colors came in, she said, "Don't listen to him. Do it the way I do it." And I guess since the comic sold, Stan Lee just put up with it. But when these comics were reprinted, this is the copy of 34. When these were reprinted in the 70s, he made sure that they were recolored very brightly. 35. Here's 36. $37. This is a copy I already had, and because what I do is I put the ones that I already had in front, and then the ones I got from my friend's collection behind. This has some darkening from age or sun, heat, whatever. 38. $39. Hold on. Here's 39 without a cover. Here's 40. 41. 42. 43. Red Guardian. Which, of course, they made him into a laughing stock in the Black Widow movie. Of course. 44. Because he's a man, and he has to be made to be a slob and an idiot, and he can't be portrayed as anything close to intelligent. That's the way things work. Now, there's a She-Hulk TV show that I think starts tomorrow. People for several years have been stocking up on their She-Hulk comics, thinking it's gonna be real valuable once the show comes on, and normal people know about the She-Hulk. Well, I don't know. First of all, it looks like Shrek. But the origin story of She-Hulk, as I recall, is she had a blood transfusion from her cousin Bruce Banner to save her life, and she became the She-Hulk. Now, to have a man be a hero and save his cousin would not fit with the narrative, the communist Chinese men are bad kind of bullshit that they're trying to inflict on our country, which is the complete opposite of what they do there. They want us to be weakened, emasculated, so they can just come in and take over. And they got you know, they got Biden in, and he's bought and paid for by China, and he's doing everything he can to help China. So what do they do in the TV show so that Bruce Banner's not a hero? Well, Bruce Banner and She-Hulk, Jennifer Walters, I believe is her name. She's driving along with her cousin in the car, and she's asking him whether Captain America is a virgin, which is just to further emasculate Captain America, because like, why does that even have to be brought up? Is Superman a virgin? Why do we care? Why does everything have to be about sexuality? So why can't a character can be interesting, whether they be gay or straight, but why is that the main characteristic or the only characteristic that defines their personality is what orifice they put things in? It shouldn't, maybe take care of their personality first, and then why does it even need to be in a comic? What am I even talking about? I haven't had any sleep. I was talking about that too. Oh, okay. So anyway, she's talking about that, and she's distracted. I think some UFO comes down and causes her to have a wreck and topple. The car rolls down a hill, right? And from what I understand, Bruce Banner's injured, and some of his blood splatters on her, and that's how she becomes it's not that there was a blood transfusion. She just gets some of his blood on her, and that's how she becomes She-Hulk. And then of course she saves him from the wreck, because the woman has to be the hero. The guy can't rescue a woman in modern movies or TV shows, especially not from Disney. So anyway, that's what I understand. Isn't that wonderful? Fantastic. Have we even looked at these fucking things? Here's 45. And then Daredevil appears in the She-Hulk show, but in more of a yellow and red original costume kind of look. And people are upset because he's supposed to be portrayed in a more lighthearted way than he was in the Netflix series. Of course, the Netflix series was great, but it was really too dark. They can never get the tone right, exactly right. It's like there was a time period when Frank Miller was doing Daredevil where it got dark. Not that dark, but so people think that that's all Daredevil ever was. Just like people think Dark Knight Returns is the only thing Batman ever was over the many decades of that comic. That he's always been this dark, brooding guy. And now I think it is confirmed that Batman's going to be exploring his sexuality in the comics, and it just figures, That's all that matters today is Here's all that shit. Here's 49. Fuck. Here's 50. 51. I mean, these comics will never change. They'll always be wonderful. Even though they're being polluted by modern times. Those that really know will know what they used to, the people that are in the know will know what they used to be. The normal people will only know them as what they are in the movies, and that will be what Thor is always remembered as being, as this moron. And I think things are going to get bad real soon as people get more desperate to win. We've got these midterms in November, and so there's no telling what they'll try to do. So yesterday at the local supermarket there was a sale. You could get 24 bottles of water for $1.77. So I went and I got 6 of them, and then I went back and got another 6. And my wife was watching the ad, and she said that, oh, it says there's a minimum of 2. And I said, well, no one stopped me. So now I've got 12. Whatever 12 is times 24, that's how many bottles of water we've got to. And then we got to stock up on, I don't know, Spam or something, just in case. Who knows? Well, this is the big Avengers 57. If anyone even cares anymore, since they killed off the Vision in the movies, but it's got a rolled spine, and some kid. That's like my older brother, man. I don't mean to speak ill of the dead, but when he touched a magazine or a comic book, whatever ink would just come off on his thumb because he had so much oil in his thumbs. It's like he was the Fly. It just would obliterate anything. I mean, that's a kid with a greasy. Oh well, it presents well. Yeah, right. 57. Okay. Here's 58. Did you see the Anne Heche thing? Now, I don't really even know who Anne Heche is, except I saw a remake of Psycho that I think Gus Van Sant, where they remade it shot for shot. And she was the Janet Leigh character that was killed in the shower. And I don't know if I've ever seen another movie. I was aware that she dated a woman, Ellen DeGeneres, and apparently she was last dating the Punisher, Thomas Jane, one of the Punishers. And that's about all I know about Anne Heche. She's this blonde with short hair. That's all I know about her. But the other day, she was like perfectly normal, like in a wig, someplace getting a red wig. The guy said she was perfectly sober. And then the next thing, she's driving like 80 miles an hour down an LA street, runs into an apartment complex, sideswipes a car, comes this close from running over a pedestrian, and then keeps going and plows right into someone's house, like right into their living room. And then the car bursts into flames. And then, they take her out of the car. They say she's not breathing, and and then they put her on a gurney, on a rolling whatever the fuck, to get her into the to the ambulance, and it's horrifying. There's a shot from a helicopter, and someone else was shooting from the side. They have her like she's dead. They've got her zipped up in a body bag, and then right as she's about to go into the ambulance, you can see she doesn't have any clothes on, and she bursts out of the body bag, and her arms are flailing around like something out of a Living Dead movie, and is trying to get loose. They have her legs strapped down, and it's horror. And then they like push her down, and it's just like she pops up, and I've seen that happen in these zombie movies. They're in a morgue, and some dead body will pop up. But then, but her boyfriend or ex-boyfriend, the Punisher, said that she was gonna maybe survive when she was in the hospital. So it's like something mysterious happened there. Something very fucked up happened. I don't even know what I just showed you, man. I'm not even paying fucking attention. God damn it. Did I show you 53? Did I show you 54? I'm just so, all I can think about is how horrible our society is. But then our neighbor came over and gave me a big bag of tomatoes that he grew in his garden. And he told me that there's a local radio station that plays old country western music, 5:40 a.m. So I tuned that in and heard Dave Dudley. And yeah, I showed you all these. Okay, all right. Shit. Okay, so here's 58. 57 was the big key issue, man. I don't think I'm ever going to use that word key issue again. I'm not going to use any of these words. I'm not going to use key issue. I'm not going to use presents well. I'm going to use the terminology that was used when I started comic collecting. This is the origin issue. This is the first appearance. This is the first issue. That was the only key issues that I know. You know, 59, or the first appearance of a character or something. 62. So sick of everything. I mean, we're 63. No, I'm not. I'm showing them out of order. Fuck. I'm starving fucking to death. 59. Okay, I didn't show you 60. Floating heads. Damn it. 61. So anyway, I hated Deadwood, and this damn. We'll probably watch more of Sandman, honestly. But I could already see that, Desire, I think, is one of the brothers or sisters of Sandman, of Morpheus, and I think it's already been established that it's some strange transgender creature. I don't know if it's a guy or probably a guy dressed as a girl. And, whatever. Sandman was not some comic that was a big part of my childhood, so. But I recognize propaganda when I see it. Where's the sound? What the fuck time is it? Here's 67. Here's 68. Then here's a 68 I won from Night Tiger Comics, I think, for a Christmas trivia contest. I think so. I think that's the price tag I remember. And here's 69. Here's 70. I don't have any other Silver Age run that's this complete. And this isn't even that complete because I didn't have the early issues, and I probably never will. Oh shit. $70. 71. 71. 72. 73. So I don't know what Marvel does moving forward. There's your little communist. Oh, and I saw that Andrew Yang is starting a party called the Forward Party. 75. Okay, so in the Marvel movies, Black Panther is dead because they don't want to recast the character, right? The Vision is dead. Captain America went to a different time period, so he's basically dead. Scarlet Witch has become a mass murderer. Quicksilver is dead. Ant-Man is alive. Thor is a ridiculous parody of himself. So, what do they have left? So how are they going to make another Avengers movie? Because I see they've got one on the schedule. When there was no need to I can't remember what. Oh, there's no need to get rid of a character just because the actor playing him passes away. It's not necessary. 75. This is 76 without a cover. 77. 78. 79. So I guess they're going to stage an arrest of Donald Trump, more than likely. And then, you know, they're gonna do that because they're hoping people are gonna lose their shit and do something crazy. That's what they're hoping. Beyond hope, they're hoping that. Okay, what the fuck? Here's 81. Another copy of 81. See the these white covers from the 1960s, depending on. Let's see how this one's a little wider than that. It was just a matter of how much heat it was exposed to. Was this stored in an attic? Is this one from Texas and this is from a different state? I mean, these are. It's all a matter of how they're stored. 82. Okay, so Black Widow has also been killed off. Yeah, every character on this cover has been killed off, except for the Wasp and Giant Man. Medusa was introduced in a TV show, and then her hair was cut off within 5 minutes because they didn't want to do the CGI to make her hair move. And she's now the queen or king of Asgard in the Thor movies. But she's been race swapped and sexuality swapped. She's become a lesbian. Because a lot of times when they moving these characters around, they'll do multiple things. They'll change their race and their gender, or their gender and their sexuality, as long as they have enough representation. Number 85, that's the big thing. Just keep going, Hollywood. Here's 86. Here's another 86. 87. 88. 89. 90. 91. And of course, Captain Marvel was never properly introduced in the movies. He, I think, was played by Glenn Close, or he was gender swapped. Here's 92. Still only 15 cents. Little did people know what was coming in the 70s and how the prices would just keep shooting up. Here's King Size Special number 1. Here's number 2. Number 4. And Batlash was always a comic that you could afford back in the late 70s when you're wanting to have a Silver Age comic, you're wanting to buy something from the 60s, but you could always afford Batlash or Tomahawk or Metamorpho. The comics that the collectors didn't buy. I gotta find a box that I can use for tonight's show. Graphic Man show something. All right. Let me take this box upstairs and get another box. Oh, see that little fancy salted mixed nuts? Meyer Greenblatt put a picture of one he has on Instagram. When I come back, if you remind me, I'll open that up for the first time in probably several decades. See how that works. Now 11:20 a.m. August 17th, 2022. Shit. Goddamn, I'm fat. Okay. I need to get some. Oh, I'm dizzy. Oh, shit. Man, I almost passed out. I don't feel good. Oh, there they are. That box with the Avengers in it didn't have these. Look at this. Fu Manchu comic strips. I was looking for these things. I like to put one in the front and one in the back of boxes. And it just gives extra protection to the books. Okay. So now I'm looking for a box that starts with Batlash. Where would that be? Batlash. Oh, here we go. I didn't have any sleep and I didn't eat breakfast. Maybe that's why I got dizzy.
That's very, very dangerous when you're looking at all these things. So that's a problem with our society that we're grappling with. And what I've said in the state of Florida, because we've taken on a new corporation, we've taken on ESG.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Amazing. Okay, so now we're looking at more comics. That must have been my only copy of Batlash. Here's 10-cent Batman number. The fuck is that say? 127, where he's up against Thor, the Hammer of Thor, which predates the Marvel Thor, obviously. There's Batman 129. That's the original Batwoman. Here's Ace the Super Bat Hound in Batman number. I believe that's 138, September 1963. This thing, when this came out, it was July of 63, you know, and Kennedy was still president. It's got Klaus Schwab's autograph at the bottom. It's Batman 142. You know, I never watched that. That's another thing, that new Batman movie. We watched about 10 minutes of it, and I mean, I need to get back and watch the rest of it. My wife was not into it. Yeah, Bruce Wayne looks very strange, and they've, of course, changed Commissioner Gordon, and it's like they've turned it into this. I mean, there was a time when Batman was this. So when you turn the Riddler into the serial killer that's like taping up people's faces and stuff, I don't want it to be like that George Clooney piece of shit. I don't want it to be that and stupid, but it doesn't need to be that dark either. Now, this is Batman 158. I love the fact that Batman had a dog that wore a mask. Now, in the mid-60s, around 65, Batman's chest symbol switches to that, and they called it the New Direction. You see, Batman's drawn a little bit differently, and they played up that he was a detective. See, this is not as silly a cover as this either. I'm not knocking this cover. Make sure you understand that, but they were trying to play Batman a little more seriously as the Dark Knight detective and everything. And right about that time, they option Batman as a TV series, and they adapt this Batman, the silly one, and do a comedy show based on that. And so then the Batman show changes kind of back into this a little bit to conform to the TV show. So people that watch the TV show would, because back then people would watch a TV show and then they'd go buy the comic. That doesn't happen anymore. People watch TV shows or movies, they do not go to the comics. Very rarely. I thought they did. I thought that was the way it was. I remember in the 90s, I went into a comic book store in Longview, Texas, and I was talking to the owner. I'm saying, these X-Men comics must be really selling now. There's this great cartoon on television. And he says, no, the cartoon has nothing, it does not affect the sales at all. Which really surprised me. I thought it would. Did I show you this one? Look at that. Yeah, I did show you that. I'm pretty sure. So anyway, it was right at that change because they were casting. They were doing screen tests for the actor that would play Batman. They did one with Lyle Wagner and they did one with Adam West when and they were using a costume without the yellow oval around the bat. And you could see it on YouTube. I'm sure it's still there. You can see the Lyle Wagner, and there's a different guy playing Robin. And it's a more comic accurate actually suit. It looks better than the one that was actually used. And you can see Adam West wearing the same outfit. That's 176. Here's 182. This is a beautiful copy. Okay, so we move into the go-go check era. 183. If you see books that I don't have, and you've got like 2, 3, 4, 5 copies of an issue, and you see I don't have it, feel free to contact me, and maybe we can work out a deal or a trade or something, because I would love to get more comics to add to my collection. I just can't. I'm a little restrained by gas and no comic stores around here, and the price of gas, and lack of extra money. There's another copy of that issue, but it's beat and doesn't even have a back cover, but it was well loved by somebody. It's beautiful. Fantastic stuff. Here's 187. Maybe I'll show some of these on Graphic Man's show tonight. Because if I finish this show and upload it, the show probably won't even be available until probably very few people will have watched this show before the Graphic Man show starts tonight at 7. Yeah, what a great cover. $192. $197. Another one of those great purple covers. $201. $203. Secrets of the Batcave, 1968. Of course, 1968 is when the Batman series went off the air. You think, well, it had 3 seasons, then how did it start in 66 and it was off the air in 68? That seems like that's only 2 years, but what people don't realize is that Batman, the TV show, started in January of 66, so the whole year it was, and then in that summer of 66 is when the Batman movie premiered. Yesterday was Julie Newmar's birthday. She was 89 yesterday. And I think Barbara Eden had a birthday 2 days ago. It's amazing how good they look for their age. I see Barbara Eden has a calendar coming out for next year with all of her, with a bunch of pictures that were taken of her for a TV Guide shoot. I saw that this morning on the internet. Yeah, see, this has got Batwoman, Batgirl, Catwoman, and Poison Ivy. 210 is a great cover. $210, $211. Here's $212. It's a beat up copy. Here's $218. Here's one of the great Neil Adams covers. $221. Here's $230. It's Black Panther's cover, basically based on the Black Panthers. I'm sure they don't call them the Black Panthers in the book. 208. Okay. Here's 233. This is, I believe, the first really official Two-Face in the, in the Silver Age. There was a Two-Face in World's Finest, but it wasn't really the classic Two-Face, but that's where they kind of brought him back. Here's 80-page giant, issue 5. It's Batman Silver Anniversary issue. There's the Superman model kit. Giant Batman Annual number 7. Number 7. Of course, Batwoman there was also made LGBTQ by DC. And now Batman's going that way. And Robin, one of the Robins is already that way, and Dick Grayson isn't that way, but he poses with hardly any clothes on, I think, in just about every issue cover. There's one where he's, I guess, in a boxing ring, and he's there with his legs spread apart. It's like, who are they marketing these comics to? I guess 20-year-old women. 11. These are Archie style DC comics. Here's 10-cent Blackhawk 131. Here's 153. Oh, cool, look, it's an Amish guy. Look at that. See that? The Amish have got it, man. They know what's going on. They're not watching Sandman, seeing all this perverted shit with people putting their own eyes out. And oh, I read about that episode that I saw, episode 5. Apparently it was worse in the comic because it has like, it ends in an orgy in that diner. It's just, I'm sick of perversion, man. I really am. I'm just sick of it. Because it's become so clear that it's an attack, not just from communists, but from, it's all satanic in origin. 228. They want you to live in a virtual reality bubble eating bugs. Here's Black Hawk, whatever the fuck issue this is. I can't read that. You're still in time for the new Black Hawk area. I'm sorry, the new Black Hawk era. Did I say area? Man. Anyway, the issue number's there, but you see, it's hard to read. Black Hawk was another comic that you could afford at Lone Star Comics back in the late 70s, early 80s. It was always affordable, right next to Batlash and all the other comics that nobody bought but you, like Metamorpho and... Oh, this is a very nice cover. Number 236 of Black Hawk. I've been watching all kinds of stuff on YouTube about the Amish. Very interesting. It's 241. It's 243 with a really cool cover. That's why I have so many Black Hawk comics, is because they were cheap. And I love them, but they were cheap. Here's Brave and the Bold, number 55, Metal Men and the Atom. Here's number 60. I'm not sure. This could be the second Teen Titans appearance. I'm probably wrong. This one, God, it's worse with the glasses on. Because they're dirty. I think it's 61. This is, this one I think is worth some money. And here's 62. They're kind of reintroducing some of the Justice Society. Here's a better quality copy of that same issue. Here's 65, The Flash and the Doom Patrol. Here's 74, Batman and the Metal Men. At a certain point, probably because he had a TV show on the air, Brave and the Bold became a Batman comic. And it was always Batman teamed up with somebody. Another purple cover. It's number 78, Batman and Wonder Woman. Here's number 80, Batman and the Creeper. Here's 81, Batman and the Flash. 88, Batman and Wildcat. 90, Batman and Adam Strange. 91, Batman and Black Canary. Okay. Here's Batman introducing the Bat Squad. No, AOC is not on that squad. Here's Batman and the Flash, number 99. I consider the Silver Age to end when they stopped, let's see, 48 pages for only 25 cents. And then they went to 52 pages for only 25 cents. And to me, the Bronze Age starts when DC gives that up and goes ahead and goes to 20 cents like Marvel had been doing. And then it was like every year or so, the prices went up a nickel, a dime. That's 101, Batman and Metamorpho. That's the way it was. Brother Power the Geek, number 1. Brother Power the Geek, number 2. The final issue. The Monster Times calls this one of the worst comics ever made. Joe Simon was an older gentleman at the time, trying to show the horrors of hippie land. Here's Captain Action number 1. I thought I had more than just the first issue, but it would appear not. That seems very mysterious because I'm pretty sure I had more than that. Okay, this is not real. It looks real, but it's a JCPenney reprint. You'd be able to tell that if you opened it up or looked at the back cover. It has an ad. Captain America 112. This one is real, and this is a iconic cover. This has even been made into posters, this cover. It's really, really cool. 117, Coming of the Falcon. And I love the Falcon. I don't want the Falcon to be Captain America. I want the Falcon to be the Falcon because he's cool and can fly and stuff. Captain America needs to be Captain America, but I don't know. People don't think. 128. Mission is to stamp out Satan's angels. So Captain America is up against the Hell's Angels biker gang. Here's Captain America 130. Really pretty cool cover. Because it's Marie Severin. Clearly that's Marie Severin. When something's cool looking, it's because Marie Severin drew it. It's always the way it is. Okay. This is 131. I can tell because someone wrote it at the top. It's one of those ones where they tear the title strip off, the logo, so they can get their money back. 131. 135 rather. It's better than not having it. Oh wait, here's 133. 136. This had been Tales of Suspense, and then it turned into Captain America, and it just kept going with that numbering. And then it had Iron Man in Tales of Suspense too, and Iron Man started with issue 1 when he left Tales of Suspense. Yeah. Here's Captain America 142. Here's another copy of 142. Okay, so we move to Captain Marvel 7. Captain Marvel 10. Captain Marvel 11. Captain Savage and his Leatherneck Raiders number 1. Number 3. There's another 3. And another 3. I have multiple copies of that. Here's number 7. They're surfing into battle. This says Ben Grimm in it before he's the Thing. Move it, mister. We're breaking out of this death camp. This is 18. Challengers of the Unknown, number 42. There's another 42. The ad for the Big Frankie. It actually is called Gigantic Frankenstein, but model kit collectors call that the Big Frankie. Here's Challengers of the Unknown 45. $48. Did I show you this one? I don't think so. Did I? That's 136. Challenges of the Unknown, number 54. Challengers 61. Challengers 67. This is around the time period when everything started being a horror comic, even the superhero titles. This is in terrible condition. Damn. 70. This is one of the ones that I got in a big giant bundle, damaged, from Lone Star Comics. Uh, 76. Here's Super DC Giant reprinting these Jack Kirby originals, Challengers of the Unknown, from the 50s or early 60s, probably 50s. Here's Chamber of Darkness, Something Lurks on Shadow Mountain, number 3. You know, Cain and Abel, this shit where Cain kills Abel all the time and he comes back to life. I guess that started in Swamp Thing, and I don't like what they did to my childhood stuff, man. Stop fucking with it. Of course, this fucking with it was done back in the 80s and 90s, but I'm just starting to realize what they did. And, you know, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter. I mean, who cares? Chamber of Darkness 6. More macabre tales to blast your brain. Here's Marvel doing an Archie